Welcome to this channel. The channel is for educations and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. The reason for educations is so that we can learn something useful and develop the skill for ourselves to help us live a better life, to free ourselves from attachment or bias or prejudice and be able to be objective. So today I like to share with you on the Wing Chun Neigong. The reason I'm sharing this today is because last week I released my book Wing Chun Neigong Code. Many of our Wing Chun friends already read it and have raised a question like, Hendrik, how come this is very different than what the usual uh, mainstream uh, type of material? And there are friends from the other part of the world where due to tax issue that they cannot get this book yet. Some told me that Amazon don't deliver to their country due to tax issue and so forth. So due to this too, questions and inquiry from our Wing Chun friends, today I'd like to give you a snapshot on what is going on Wing Chun Neigong. So that even if you don't have the book yet, today you'll be able to understand what is going on there. And if you have read the book and you cannot figure out what is going on, because it's very different from so-called mainstream stuff. After this YouTube, you will be able to know what is going on. Yes, the real authentic teaching is not what you see out there. Now, let's start. We need to understand that through transmissions, if you learn something, you need to get a teacher who have the true transmissions or true teaching from the whoever create the system. And the true teaching is about you have to answer this question. What is it? Who doing this, create this? What happened at that time lead to this? How does it happen? What is it? How does it work? How is it developed? It's all details, details, details. It is never perhaps, perhaps, perhaps. Kesa, kesa, kesa. No, it is all details, details, details to answer these questions. Only be able to answer these questions. You know what it is, you know how it works, and you know how to develop it, and you'll be able to develop the skill. So that is through transmissions. You need to know a lot of details. It's not kisa, kisa, kisa. So it never is, I think, I believe, I research. If you haven't learned the basic, like a kindergarten, can a kindergarten claim to be a PhD, a doctor in a certain area or field? Of course you can. In the world today, people don't know about this. People have their mind on this. In my YouTube channel, I have show you all the example of this. You don't want to get here. You want this. Or else what's the point? Wasting time. So for example of this, you can watch my YouTube. Like this person saying what? So today I don't believe it. There's no such thing as belief in the three transmissions. Well, this is about the Erme connections. And this is trying to fit the six core element into the snake crane secret note. Okay, this YouTube, this YouTube. And then with this YouTube, where it got nothing to do with secret society or secret society person. And yet this expert doing research and couldn't even understand what is in the Chinese culture. So in that way is I think, I believe, I research. The first thing, you need to have the true transmissions. Get a legit teacher to teach you, or else you're not going to learn anything. Okay? And even you learn, you're still beginner. You're not some kind of grandmaster. Am I a grandmaster? No. So, in the chapter one of this, there are three really important key on learning the Wing Chun Neigong. Okay. The first is one need to have accurate and detailed mindset when you learn Xiu Lim Tao. Because Xiu Lim Tao means essence of detailed training. And this essence of detailed training, the details, is actually the teaching, the true transmission teaching of 峨眉十二庄, which is the entire body should not exert unnecessary force, allow breathing and energy to flow naturally. Savoring small details is the key to success. Savoring small details is the key to success, is what it means by it evolve into the essence of details training. So in the practice of Xiu Lin Tao Wing Chun, you need to be accurate, detailed mindset. Now, to savor small details mean to clearly perceive every aspect of the moment, the structure, cause, and effect, so the experience can be accurately reproduced. In this spirit, Xiu Lim Tao prohibit vague and ambiguity concept. This principle echo the well-known Wing Chun maxim. The practice of Xiu Lim Tao must be dim dim cheng. That every point must be made clear. So dim dim cheng, where is it from? It's from 峨眉十二庄. Okay, so Xiu Lim Tao, meaning the essence of detailed training, derived its name from the core teaching of its art, its parents' art, 峨眉十二庄. That's how it come in. So it's all details and accurate details. So it never is like this. I don't believe. It got nothing to do with you believe or you don't believe. It got nothing to do with this too. Try to mix something up where you don't know the details of the six core element. It's not these two. Chinese is very specific. 江湖人的 meaning that you don't want to be snake oil seller, like those type of people who cheat. It got nothing to do with secret society. So it has to be that clear, or else what are you going to develop? Okay. Now, in the Xiu Lim Tao, in the Neigong. Okay. So 小念头, the third key has to be known is body, mind, and breathing as a core Neigong element. Among the six core element, body, mind, breathing, qi, and then force and momentum. That is the universal foundations of Neigong and all Chinese martial arts. Okay. So you need to be able to handle that, and you need to know that Shulin was designed with this purpose to train refine the six core element with particular emphasis on body, mind, and breathing. If you do not get your body, mind, and breathing developed with the true transmissions, you will not be able to handle the six core element. And the 1850s Shulin system, including the nurture chi, the fitness, the strengthening training. So it has its significance. Okay, so Qi nurturing tending establish the base, support fitness, which in turn support strengthening or combat application. Each modality built upon the previous one in sequence. This structured approach is vital because each type of training serves distinct purpose. Fighting, for example, is a high-intensity performance-based activity that taxes the body, mind, and breathing. Like sprinting, it can provoke sudden spike in blood pressure and disrupt natural physiology. Therefore, after such exertion, recovery must return to the foundation of natural body, mind, and breathing regulations. So the design, the Neigong of the Wing Chun Tao, it had these three levels: Qi neurosing and fitness training and strengthening training. You need to know that. You need to know which tier or which of this train and how to use them. The entire thing does is in my book, Decoding Wing Chun. Okay. And here in Neigong, this is a part Neigong, but we concentrate on this Qi neurosing thing. So you need to know that. Like in the chapter 2, it said that the Buddhist connection. To comprehend the essence of Chinese Neigong, one must explore its root. Wing Chun and art from emerged from the ancient Shaolin sword strike and Ermei in turn was conceived by Buddhist monks based on Buddhist and Taoist teaching. These fundamental arts of Wing Chun are deeply influenced by ancient Chinese Buddhist teaching. So, to truly grasp the ancient Chinese Neigong, one must derive into its related ancient Chinese classic, analyzing the content of the preceding text and hence comprehensions of the later text, and vice versa, verifying their mutual coherence. Therefore, it is crucial to avoid simple guessing and interpreting things based on personal reference. This, watch out my YouTube here, my YouTube here, my YouTube. This is all the example of what? Example of this. Simply guessing or interpreting things based on personal preference. That's not research. You don't have the transmission. How can you know what the heck's going on? Right? And here he said that to grasp the fundamental principle of Neigong, whether it is Chinese martial art, Neigong, Qigong, meditation, internal arts, one must derive into two Chinese Buddhist texts that have profoundly impacted the teaching and practice of Buddhists. Taoist, Confucians, traditional Chinese martial art in China for past 1,400 years. Yeah, we know what it is. The two books are the basic principle of calming contemplation. Calming In today's words, you heard it. It's called samatha. Contemplation is vipassana. Okay. The six wonderful Dharma gates. You start with counting, following, counting your breath, following your breath, settle your breath orders. There's 8 levels of them, authored by monk, Buddhist monk Ji, 1,400 years ago. So this is the father of the thing, or the mother, or the parents of the thing. We we need to know the connection, okay? And we need to know what is the Neigong, okay? The following outline the Neigong principle found in Xiu Lim Tao writing, framed with modern scientific insight. Neigong often translate internal skill, okay? So different lineage describe its process in unique terms. Martial arts speak of moving qi, yin qi. Confucian scholar of nurture qi, yang qi. Taoist practitioner refining qi, lian qi. While these terms reflect distinct philosophy, the practice share common element, using posture, breath, and attention to influence internal state of support balance. From scientific perspective, Neigong can be understood as a mind-body practice. It combines breath regulation, upright posture, and sustained attention to promote physiological self-regulations and homeostasis. It is all here, and it is actually based on this. Even Xu Lin Tao is based on this. It's two scripture. So the third chapter is about that two scripture. And the first thing here is share that there are natural practice, natural pace practice, and standalone practice. For example, your breathing. Okay, is that a practice that your mind, body, and breathing all naturally pace, or you just manipulate intentionally on your breathing and so forth? Those are different stuff. So you need to learn from the classic style, teaching what is going on. I cannot go create my own. You know it doesn't work. It's 1,400 years old technology, practice. I cannot go. I am saying I'm going doing research, I believe, or what. The Chinese have been practiced 1,400 years. Are you kidding? Do you know what it is? Can you go to university, get a sinologist, and know this thing? Forget about it. Not to mention, most sinology couldn't even read all this thing. Why? They never train in it. They never have a teacher who go through that with them. Now, ancient teaching is good, but chapter 4 is modern science. In the realm of mind-body practice, it's highly advantageous to embrace both the ancient and modern perspective. By diving into diverse viewpoint, verify information through multiple data sources, and comparing various approach, we can attain a profound comprehension of subject matter. This holistic approach will ultimately lead to enhanced quality and great effectiveness in the practice, resulting favorable outcome. Modern science can be valuable tools to fill the gap on clarity where ancient teaching have not fully covered a subject. The ancient is ancient. Ancient is no God. They will have their limitations. It can also provide insight into unspoken ancient teaching that were clearly at that time but not understood today due to evolutions of human society. Today you use iPhone every day, you use iPad and everything, tablet. People change compared with those who go to sleep at 7 o'clock every night, do not have this thing. Their physiology and mentality, all kind of the practice and everything. So whatever it is mean by certain thing in the ancient, today you might not know what it is. It's just like here. Like this technology say this is a secret society. In fact, it is not. In the ancient people said, don't be snake oil seller in a simple form. It's not about secret society. It's about secret society person. He said, don't bullshit other people, don't deceive other people to make money. Don't sell snake oil. That's the teaching. So, so modern science, in terms of the true transmissions, it can provide you insight, say something you're missing. Conversely, ancient teaching could offer insight into what modern science has not yet been investigated or has not yet covered in depth. They could also serve as a source of knowledge and research direction that modern science has not yet been explored, derived in details. All details, details. It's like a study, get a doctor degree if you really want to learn Qigong or Neigong. So this is why the modern science come in. Well, up to now, you see, this is completely different from what you thought today. Somebody have this Neigong, this secret art. You practice Yulian Tao. As soon as you practice, you know it, you will get there. No, it's no such thing. The ancient Chinese, ancient teaching, the Chinese teaching of Neigong and modern science confirm that it's not you go down there, learn from mimic posture or mimic this secret, that secret. Or I learned 峨眉十二庄 and then you will get it. No. Details, details, details. Accurate details. How you verify things. You know the practice, you know what it is, how it is, and you need to verify it. And today in the science, we have to verify with science. And even you know that, you need to know who you are. Neigong, a principle-based system, emphasized mastering fundamental practice before progressing into more advanced training. Beginners should focus on mastering the basic. Unlike quick fix, Qigong benefit accumulates over time through patience, consistent, and repeat work during proper basic training. So you can talk theory on this thing. You can talk theory on the 修炼 Neigong and Buddhist connection, the ancient teaching, modern science, and the tracking and so forth. But if you're kindergarten, you better get yourself trained. Now you question me, Henry, are you serious? We all have the 修炼 Neigong, everything. Why just bring one thing for you? If you really that good in Neigong and really know your Neigong, whatever Wing Chun, whatever internal Tai Chi Neigong, do you know the role of the diaphragm in natural and forced breathing? The diaphragm is primary muscle of respirations. It separates the thoracic and abdominal cavity and function both voluntary and involuntary, making it unique interface between the conscious mind and autonomic body. However, the quality of diaphragmatic breathing, whether natural and effortless or forceful and effortful, profoundly influence the nervous system, balance, cardiovascular function, and the subject experience in the internal energy. So tell me, which Wing Chun 修炼 when you practice or your internal whatever practice give you the insight to how to develop your diaphragm, which is the first thing. Don't talk about meditations and Neigong or anything. As soon as you get to Neigong, the proper so-called natural pace, not the stand-alone brute force, you need to know how to handle your diaphragm. Do you know? Anybody know? You can see a lot of meditators for their kids, they don't even know how to handle their diaphragm. Look at those who practice 修炼 how many know how to handle their diaphragm? With the EG, Kamyong Ma, triangle shape, all this thing, are you sure you'll be able to handle your diaphragm. Your body is limiting, tense up your diaphragms. Do you know that? So this is just an example. As a beginner, as a beginner, you need to develop all this beginning stuff, not get into this, not get into this belief, this thing, and this research. No, you need to be really solid. The Chinese Kung Fu is not up for anybody's imaginations. Okay? So that's why we as a beginner, we better know we are beginner, study as a beginner. Don't try to act like a grandmaster when you don't even know what is going on. Don't try to be a PhD, a doctor, when you are just kindergarten. And of course, all this thing, all this diaphragm breathing, everything, this is in the book. Your heart rate, your breathing rate, your stress score, or your inverse of your heart rate variability can be checked. Why do you think I wear all this thing? Why do you think I wear all this thing all the time? It's to check those things. Okay. Now, so in the book, it says this. Evaluate the quality of the practice. Let us derive into the concept reading the monitoring graph, like this monitoring graph. You need to monitor it. Okay. Using figure 6.9, the stress score is where calculate metric derived from the heart rate variability data, and then it serves as a barometer. Okay, and HRV influence both heart rate and breathing rate, and this decrease of breathing rate, and then this got to do with your sinus arrhythmia, which is of normal variations in heart rate with breathing is the primary, all sort of stuff. Well, this is modern science. This is modern science tracking. This is a modern science explanations on why you need to develop your diaphragm. And in this book, there is a part for beginner to help to 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 uh, to know about the diaphragm, to practice to loose up the diaphragm so that it be able to go naturally. So that's why this book is not what people think. One must know this. Without knowing this, what is it? So what is the qualifications even talk about Neigong if you do not go through this? Just to be straight, in today, year 2025, if you do not proceed, have the the training of this Wing Chun Neigong code, the the theory, the practice, the verifications, and the scientific verifications of this, and know where which thing come from what and everything, all the sequence, everything. It's called hopeless. You're not going to develop anything for martial art, for health, for fitness, for healing. You will not be able to do it. There are many people who practice so-called mindful meditations. You can go through for entire life. But if you miss the details of what I shared in this book, your entire life is wasted. You can practice your Xiu Lim Tao for entire life. It's wasted because you cannot make it happen. And if you don't use The Wing Chun Dim Cheng, every point has to be accurate and details. You'll be able to handle that, which is it is Wing Chun is derived from the Mei Shi Zhuang teaching. Where are you going to get anyway? Or get a sinology to do research? I believe so. Show me what is your kung fu. Let me tell you a secret. This hair got to do with your kidney chi. I'm almost 70-year old. Do you see the really gray white hair here? The beard? You don't. So when I go to Sifu or the group of meeting of the Taoists and everything, people look at your hair. You have kung fu or not, your hair tell you. Okay? So it is not what people think. And it is real. If you develop it, it cannot cure your disease, but it will help you to get healthy. You can work with the Western medicines and Chinese medicines, but it doesn't replace those things. Those are the reality. Have you seen any Qigong people heal themselves with all this magic? No. But if you practice a proper, the true transmissions, the real transition, authentic transmission Qigong, you will have your help. That's proven. Even the Chinese start from 80s, 1980s, have already doing research, so they know. So today is 2025. I wrote that book to put everything together so that it become an education. It's a educational text. People can use it in the university if they want to understand what is the tradition. So there's a part which is the Chinese tradition. There's a part which is the Western science. It bridged. This book is the first book which is bridged the Western and the Chinese tradition of 1,400 years, bridge together and provide a verifications for the basic. We cannot talk anything grandmaster. I am not a grandmaster. But what I am is I go through the entire thing. As a guinea pig, I can tell you what it is. And in science, we know what it is. So this is what it's about, Qigong, and I share with you everything. Hope that you have a clear view and a proper view on what is going on. The old era has to be gone. There's no room for anybody to believe, to think, to research before you know the basic.